Chapter 15. The Great Gum Machine. After visiting the chocolate room, Mr. Wonka led the 5 children and their parents over to a gigantic machine that stood in the center of the inventing room. It was a mountain of shiny metal that towered high above them. There were hundreds of thin glass tubes on top of it, and they all curled downwards and hung together in midair over an enormous round tub. "Here we go," cried Mr. Willy Wonka, and pressed 3 different buttons on the side of the machine. A second later, a great rumbling sound came from inside, and the whole machine began to shake, and steam began hissing out of it. Suddenly, everyone noticed that some runny substance of different colors was pouring down the insides of all the little glass tubes and shooting out into the tub below. It was a lovely sight. When the tub was nearly full, Mr. Wonka pressed another button. Immediately, the runny liquid disappeared, a buzzing noise took its place, and the enormous tub began to turn, mixing all the different colored liquids. Gradually, the mixture got thicker and turned from blue to white to green to yellow and then back to blue again. "Watch," said Mr. Wonka. Click went the machine, and the whizzing stopped. And now all the thick blue mixture in the huge tub was quickly sucked back into the machine. There was a moment of silence. Then, a few curious rumblings were heard. Then, there was silence again. Suddenly, the machine let out a monstrous groan, and at the same time, a tiny drawer popped out of the side of the machine. In the drawer, there lay something so thin and small that everyone thought it must be a mistake. "You mean that's all?" said Mike TV, shocked. "That's all," answered Mr. Wonka, gazing proudly at the result. "Don't you know what it is?" There was a short silence. Then, suddenly, Violet let out a yell of excitement. "By gum, it's gum!" she screamed. "It's a stick of chewing gum." "Right you are," cried Mr. Wonka, patting Violet hard on the back. "It's a stick of gum. It's a stick of the most amazing, marvelous and sensational gum in the world. This gum," Mr. Wonka went on, "is my latest and most fascinating invention. It's a chewing gum meal. That tiny little strip of gum lying there is a whole 3-course dinner all by itself." "What sort of nonsense is this?" said one of the fathers. "My dear sir," cried Mr. Wonka, "when I start selling this gum in the shops, it will change everything. It will be the end of all kitchens and all cooking. There will be no more shopping to do. There will be no knives or forks at mealtimes. No plates. No washing up. No mess. Just a little strip of Wonka's magic chewing gum, and that's all you will ever need to eat at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This piece of gum I have just made happens to be tomato soup, roast chicken, and blueberry pie. If you start chewing it, you can actually feel the food going down your throat and into your tummy. You can taste it perfectly. It fills you up. It's terrific. Come on, Mr. Wonka, hand over this magic gum of yours, and we will see if it really works," Violet insisted. "I think it is better you didn't take it," Mr. Wonka told her gently. "You see, I haven't got it quite right yet. There are still 1 or 2 things." Before he could stop her, Violet kept chewing till she reached the blueberry pie. That's when she started to turn violet in color and began blowing up like a balloon till she looked just a big juicy blueberry.